United States has categorically denied that it has green-flagged counter-terror efforts by Pakistan. Now, the clarification follows reports that the U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry had issued a certificate to the U.S. Congress on the progress made by Pakistan in its anti-terror operations. According to reports, it was on the basis of this certificate that the U.S. has approved $532 million aid just ahead of Kerry's visit to Pakistan. However, the spokesperson was quick to add that there were other provisions under which aid could be given, for which no certification was required. US has also refuted a recent Pakistan Finance Ministry statement that the State Department had notified the Congress of an assistance package with its breakup being given for different sectors like energy, defense against terrorism, economic growth, community building, education and health. The clarification follows a strong objection by India last evening.
Well, I don't know if I can explain that, but I can tell you what the facts are. Congress has not been notified of a request. Congress has not approved a request. I think in some of the reporting, it also suggested this implied an approval of progress made. In the past, well, I'm not going to get ahead of any requests we'll make, and obviously there'll be additional funding, I'm sure. But in the past, the Department of State has employed the national interest waiver provided for in legislation, in part because all the criteria needed to that is required to be met hasn't been met. We obviously have that ability in the future as well.
How the government of the United States decides to spend US taxpayers' money is entirely its prerogative. However, India does not believe that Pakistan is showing either sustained commitment or making significant effort or seizing support or dismantling bases of operations of the Lashkar-e-Taiba, the Jaish-e-Mohammed, the Haqqani network, and quite possibly the Al-Qaeda.
Now, Hamza, when the US actually comes out and says that they're refuting a recent Pakistan Finance Ministry statement that State Department has notified the Congress of an assistance package with the breakup also. Now, who's telling a lie? Who's actually right?
Well, see, it's funny because the United States is trying to play smart and actually trying to playing dumb at the same time. Because see, one needs to remember, US has officially announced its withdrawal and exit from Afghanistan recently, in an official ceremony, handed over the powers to the Afghan forces. Now it is time for them to move out, and for that they need Pakistan route, and that's something that they cannot compromise on. So when needing that, Pakistan uses this opportunity because to let them know what Pakistan's concerns are on Kashmir, on line of control, on any other thing that they can use US to pressure India. While US does the same with Pakistan, they're giving them assistance packages, they're giving them funding, they're giving them coalition support fund to the army. They're supporting them in every way only for the fact that they need a safe exit route on guarantee of the Pakistan government and the Pakistan army. And that is something that is very important. So while on one side, John Kerry gives the clean chit to Pakistan that fine, he's very happy with Pakistan's counter-terrorism policy. On the other hand,
no, but then Hamza, that's exactly what is in question. That is exactly what is in question. And what you are trying to say right now is that there is a different view in Pakistan than what the US is apparently saying. Now, it's one person's word against the other. I mean, one person has to be wrong.
It's not one person's word against the other. See, to give Pakistan a clean chit, they do not need approval of the Congress. That's one. Secondly, to give a package to Pakistan, it's already been previously approved, so they do not need a certificate.
What about refuting the Pakistan Finance Ministry statement?
Well, that's what I'm saying, that the US is actually not going to go against what Pakistan has to say or where Pakistan stands. Let it be against India even, because it is in their own interest. They need a safe route to Pakistan when they move out of Afghanistan, and that is on guarantee of the Pakistan army and Pakistan government. So obviously they will not actually say anything that will actually come back to, hurting their relationships, especially with the army, because this is what guarantee they have. The army chief was in the US for a good long time, and he actually guaranteed the whole of route is with safety and security provided by the army for the US and NATO forces. So I don't think, these statements are coming out that John Kerry might not be coming to Pakistan. Yesterday, Nawaz Sharif, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, met with the US ambassador, and they, detailed about how the meeting is going to stay, what agenda is going to be with John Kerry when he comes to Pakistan. So I think all of that is on the cards. It's just, being played in a very wayward way because it just so came up, but and Hamza, she did not respond to a question.
Hamza, let me quickly get in Smita here. Smita, the fact, and we here at Headlines Today are reporting facts. The fact is that there is a claim by Pakistan, and that claim has been refuted by the United States. How is India viewing this?
Well, Sanket, we saw India's reactions come in yesterday. Now, as far as the fresh reactions are concerned, we'll have to wait a little bit. But what Hamza is saying, I just need to make in a bit of clarification here, because we were talking about the Kerry-Lugab-Berman bill, on which, of course, Jen Psaki, the spokesperson, we heard them say that, the Congress has not been notified yet. But she does go on to mention that there could also be separate appropriations funding. Now, the Pakistan Finance Minister, Ishaq Dar, will also probably have to do a lot of answering. Because remember, these statements came out from his office once he had those meetings a week back with the US envoy to Pakistan, Richard Olson. Now, Hamza is not wrong in saying that Pakistan does maintain, different statements in place to different domestic galleries when it comes to India and Pakistan. But we would definitely need a clarification if this $532 million is an amount that Pakistan has been assured of, basically to take care of the IDPs or the internally displaced people in North Waziristan, where some military action has been ongoing for a while, Zarb-e-Azab against, the Talibani groups. Or has it really been promised under the Kerry-Lugab-Berman bill? Because if it's been promised under the Kerry-Lugab bill, then the waivers Kerry-Lugab bill, in fact, are subjected to conditions, and those conditions imply that US is satisfied with Pakistan's action against terror groups like the Lashkar-e-Taiba or the Jaish-e-Mohammed, to which India has strongly objected. So clearly, even when John Kerry, remember, will be here in India for the Vibrant Gujarat Summit, he will be having meetings with Narendra Modi on the 12th of this month itself, before he possibly heads out to Pakistan, because we are not yet ruling out the strategic dialogue in Islamabad. There will be some answering for Mr. Kerry himself to do, as well as, of course, the Pakistani finance minister.
Absolutely, Smita, as well as Hamza. Though, however, the United States has been very categorical in explaining its position. It has not given an anti-terror certificate. It says, the spokesperson said that if there is a provision of granting an aid to Pakistan, they were quick to add that there are other provisions under which aid could in fact be given, for which no certification is actually required. Thanks very much to both of you for giving us perspective on this developing story.